Hello everyone, today is Monday, May 21st. It's 4:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The regular session for the futures markets just closed about 4 minutes ago. On my right you can see my computer clock, and on my left you can see my time and sales. The EMini S&P currently trading at 27.32 1/4. Okay, couldn't make a video last Friday, had a doctor's appointment, and we're back today with another video. Pretty decent day for the Autotrader. First up is the Nasdaq on the 1597 Heikin-Ashi chart, and this had a couple of losers to start out with, kind of a minor drawdown, about 250 per contract, and then came back with 3 winning trades in a row, as you can see here, and brought us up to 1490, and that was well shy of our goal, but that's okay, still a pretty nice performance. Okay, the Nasdaq on the next time frame up, which is the 2584 Heikin-Ashi chart. It did a little different in the trades. It had a really nice short trade here. Super excellent placement on the entry and the exit, as you can see here. And then a couple of losers here, but then came back at the close of the market to gain some of that back. The equity high here was about 1600. And so it closed the day at 1170. This is our template for that chart. Okay, next is the EMini S&P on a 1597 Heikin-Ashi chart, and this had a single long trade and hit its goal of 1,000. This is not using our line break algorithm, but I plotted the line break signals here along with the indicator. You can see really excellent signals on the indicator, and then also confirming with the line break signals. So the BWT line break indicator and the signals from that, coupled with the Heikin-Ashi bars, give some excellent signals. I mean, here from the open we have what looks to be all winning trades. If you were trading this manually, just following the indicators and using the line break as a filter, you would have gone long somewhere here, short somewhere here, long again here, short somewhere here, and then long again here, and then you finally ran into some choppy action towards the close of the session, but hopefully you would have been done by here. All in all, a great day on the ES Heikin-Ashi. Okay, next up is the EMini S&P on a Super Renko 4 tick, and this did 987.50, hit its goal of 1,000 for the day, and this one has fixed targets of 12 and 14 ticks. So this is an example of a chart where I'm basically going for the shorter moves, 12 and 14 ticks. This often hits its goal. Here's the template here. Certainly, if you wanted to make this second contract a runner, you would just set the target to 0. And so if we have 2 contracts here, and one of the targets is 0, that means it's a runner, and it would follow the trade all the way till it reverses. The logic of the Autotrader is that if we have no profit target or trail stop, then it would go all the way until the bars turn blue. So the reason I have fixed targets on this is for those days where the market does not have large moves, and that happens. So 12 and 14 ticks in today's volatility for the EMini S&P is pretty low, actually, of a target, and it often gets hit. Remember, anytime we have a profit target, it's actually a limit order, so we have limit order on our entry and our exit. So back to a discussion about coming up with settings and parameters for the Autotrader. What I do is simply look at charts like this, and I go back on the chart and I look at the swings, and I try to determine the average size swing. And looking at a chart like this, the smallest swing here is 4 points, so hence, well, more like 4.5, 5 points, but that's why I have 12 and 16 ticks. That's 3 and 4 points. So for swings as little as this move right here, it's going to hit its target. If you wanted longer targets, and again, I observe on the chart, these swings here, once again, are about 4 and 5 points, all these kind of moves. So on a day where I'm getting this kind of movement, this chart can do pretty good. On the bigger days, you're going to miss out. But what you could do is you could set your trail stop to begin at 14 ticks, for example, and trail by bars or the volatility stop. And then you've got kind of the best of both worlds. At your shorter target, you're trailing a stop, and you have the opportunity for a bigger move should it play out that way. So there are ways to come up with settings like that. It's relatively simple. Just start trailing a stop at this level. Had I trailed by, say, the volatility stop, I would have got stopped out down here, which is about 3 or 4 points lower. Okay, next is the EMini S&P on a 987 tick line break. We've seen this chart quite a bit. The EMini S&P really did well today on all of the charts that we follow on the ES. So this has a goal of 1300, so obviously we hit our goal and had some slippage at the end. Here's the trades. Looks like a pretty minor drawdown, less than $200 or $100 per contract, no big deal. But some very nice looking, well-placed trades on this chart, as you can see here. Okay, the ES on a regular Renko chart hit its goal of 1,000, what looks to be on about 5 trades here. Very minor drawdown of about 150 per contract on a couple of losers to start, and then came back with 3 winners in a row to hit our goal. This is our template here, using Super Renko 6 as our higher time frame. As stated, it was all about the EMini S&P today for the most part. The EMini S&P on a Super Renko 6 tick that starts trading pre-market had just a couple of losers here and then the rest winners, and that came up and hit its goal of 1,000 for the day. Okay, the Nasdaq on a 10 Renko chart looks like it had an equity high of about $850 and then had a very small loser here and ended up with 615 for the day. Probably didn't get filled because we didn't hit our limit orders here. Okay, next is the crude oil on a Super Renko 6 tick. This had a modest gain of 360 for the day using our line break logic. So looks like our equity high was a little bit higher than that, but still finishing on the plus side of the ledger. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.